Be zero tolerance for such statements, what we have heard, and there is no place in Europe for rhetoric that justifies, advocates and glorifies ethnic cleansing. And I'm personally really appalled that this even needs to be said in this situation. So we will close all the chapters and until the accession treaty will be ratified in all EU 27.
Okay, I see another hand up just there.
Yes, Geracina Tuhina, Radio Free Europe and Kosovo Television. To Commissioner Kos, EU institutions were engaging hard to have the 5th intergovernmental conference in this Super Tuesday with Serbia. We have heard today the condemnation of EU concerning the recent statements of a Serbian minister who said that if she was Milosevic, she would ethnically cleanse the whole Kosovo. We have the second statement by another minister calling this Brussels reaction shameful and hypocritical. In your recommendation for opening of Cluster 3, among other things, Commission stated that Serbia is constructively engaging in the dialogue with Kosovo. Given recent statements, do you still stand behind this recommendation, including the key criteria, meaning rule of law at one side and normalization of relations with Kosovo at the other? Thank you.
There can only be zero tolerance for such statements, what we have heard, and there is no place in Europe for rhetoric that justifies, advocates and glorifies ethnic cleansing. And I'm personally really appalled that this even needs to be said in this situation. Such statements really run directly counter to the values of human dignity, reconciliation, which is very much needed, accountability and good neighborly relations on which the European Union is founded and without which the accession process cannot happen. Yes, they also contradict Serbia's commitments under the EU-facilitated dialogue on the normalization of relations with the Kosovo. I can only assume that these are the views of one minister and not the position of the Serbian government. We expect the political leaders to act responsibly, refrain from inflammatory rhetoric, and contribute to building trust, reconciliation, and regional stability.
Okay. I might just add one point, if that's okay. We look at we know there are difficulties in the region, and statements like that, as Commissioner Kos has said, are deeply unhelpful. But we also look at the peace process in Northern Ireland. That was imagined in Strasbourg, actually. One of our leaders, John Hume, an MEP from the north of Ireland, nationalist MEP, he stood on the bridge between Strasbourg and Kiel, and he felt that if there could be peace between France and Germany, there could be peace between north and south of Ireland, and indeed between Ireland and Britain, and how right he was. And what I'd say briefly is that this is the place where all of these issues, all of this sometimes there's bitterness, and we've all had it, there's soreness, there's bad experience, but this is the place where the reconciliation can happen and the working together can happen to the benefit of all our citizens.